Just the other day, I was shopping at the thrift store with my good friend Melissa when I came across one of the weirdest sewing gadgets I'd ever seen. I didn't immediately buy it because I did not think that I would have enough time to make the video. So today we are going back to the thrift store, we're buying the gadget, and we're figuring out if it actually works. Before we leave though, I wanted to give you a bit of a life update and talk about why I thought I was going to be too busy to make this video in the first place. In 6 weeks, Wyatt and I are leaving to go traveling around Central and South America. We're getting rid of our house, putting our stuff in a storage unit, and selling our car. This is like a full send operation. Deciding to do this and take this on is one of the scariest and most exciting things I've ever chosen to do in my life. For all of 2022, I've had a really big personal focus on facing my fears and putting myself purposefully outside of my comfort zone. So this is like the penultimate of that, where we are getting rid of everything we know, we're leaving our friends behind for a little while, and just going out into the world. We're gonna be on the move, living out of suitcases, and just staying in Airbnbs. So obviously, I am not gonna have any sewing supplies with me or my sewing machines. So this is technically the last sewing video that's gonna be on my channel for a while. I do intend to continue making content, and some of it might end up being fashion related, but most likely it's just gonna be about me and my own personal journey. So I hope you stick around for that. In the meantime though, let's head out to the thrift store and buy this really wacky product. If you live in Canada, you know that this is like the best thrift store chain. Despite the high praise that I just gave to this store in the parking lot, literally moments after walking in, an employee told me to put my camera away. So the only clip I was able to get in the store was this fast little one on my phone. The Remington Stitchmate. It is a handheld sewing machine, and it's actually an as seen on TV product. So I think I'm actually gonna go home and see if I can find an infomercial for this bad boy and see what they say it can do.
Here for the Handy Stitch, the sewing solution for today that makes sewing fun, fast, and easy. The Handy Stitch uses the latest micro technology and actually fits in the palm of your hand. It does the jobs that conventional sewing machines can't, so you can sew anything, anywhere, at any time. It has the—
I mean, a conventional sewing machine quite literally can sew anything. That's the point of it.
Precision of a small machine to repair delicate fabrics like silk, yet has the power of a big machine to sew through tough fabrics like denim. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, the Handy Stitch is for you. You can even do repairs while wearing your clothes, repair a pocket without taking your pants off, fix a fallen hem in the office in no time.
Technically, you can fix your skirt hem or your jeans pocket while wearing it by just using a hand sewing needle and some thread.
Even use it for patching up outdoors. It's quick around corners and can add a decorative touch to all sorts of fabrics. You would never be able to sew draperies with a regular machine. The Handy Stitch is a portable sewing solution.
Nobody would do this. Ridiculous things white people do in infomercials.
That makes life a little easier. It lets you put the professional touch on your home decorations and will pay for itself over and over. It gives you that genuine chain stitch, which means you get a secure, strong, and even stitch every time. It's battery powered or AC adaptable, so you can sew any fabric, anywhere, anytime. Because of its compact size, it travels with you. The Handy Stitch can even be used outside to repair a flag or fix—
Oh my, okay, ended a little soon there. Ended a little premature, but that wasn't the exact product that I just bought. That is Singer's version of it, but I think that gives us a general idea. So it's meant to be portable, it's meant to be able to sew pretty much anything, and you can just quickly do little like touch-ups to your clothes while you're wearing them. Let's go unbox this bad boy. It's a Remington. Already wound bobbins, so whoever owned this before was quite considerate. We've got a random yellow piece of plastic. Oh, and it's wound with white currently. As well, we have a little stick. I'm not sure what that's for. Okay. All right, here we go. So does it? Oh God. Oh no, it has instructions. Okay. So it uses 4 AA batteries. That's like pretty hefty, to be honest. Then it shows you how you hold it and then how to operate. All right, perfect. Ah, I wish there was a year on here. I'd love to know. It's pretty weighty. It's got a good hand feel. Feels pretty solid. Oh, there's batteries in it. Oh my gosh, it's like ready. It's ready to go. Wow, thank you person who donated this to the thrift store. I don't even need the batteries now. That's boss. So I've got some fabric samples laid out back there. They're all different kinds of fabric, and some of them I think will be easier to sew than others. So I just want to see like how the machine does on those different types. But right now I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go downstairs and make a quick little lunch, and I'll show you guys one of my favorite little lunch recipes. Oh, we don't have bread! After realizing we had no bread, I quickly headed out to the bakery. However, I got a little sidetracked at a boutique in the same plaza and ended up buying this cute little dress. I'm obsessed with the color combo in the print. Now with bread in hand and a quick outfit change done, we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming of cooking lunch with Lindsay. Alright, well I'm just gonna wear this for the rest of the video. To make probably my favorite lunch ever, you need a lime or lemon, salt, pepper, olive oil, a tomato, a ripe avocado, a bunch of basil, and bread. This is thick sliced sourdough. And Wyatt and I actually always go to this specific bakery because we can get it in a paper bag instead of plastic, because we try really, really hard not to use any single-use plastic. So you're gonna want 2 thick slices of tomato per piece of toast that you're making. Just like this. Put them into a little frying pan with some olive oil and salt and pepper. Okay, you wanna take this and cook it over medium heat. So cook that over medium heat for probably like 5 or 10 minutes and flip it halfway through. Then in the meantime, take a piece of your bread. Oh yeah, that's some good bread right there, holy crap. And toast it. Don't do like we do and leave a bajillion crumbs in there because it could start a fire. So then you can take a bunch of your basil. I like a lot of basil personally. Take your basil and just slice it really thin. Then you're gonna cut open your avocado. And since I'm only making 1 piece, I'm just gonna use half. Now you just want to smush this avocado with some salt and a squeeze of your lemon or lime. So to assemble, toast, smushed avocado, hot cooked tomatoes, and then your fresh basil. And that's my avocado tomato toast. You can also do it with mushrooms too. Instead of frying tomatoes, you can just fry mushrooms and then throw in a bit of like diced garlic at the end, or minced garlic rather, and then put that on top of the avocado toast with the basil. It's so good too. I just tried this bad boy off camera while following the directions, and I hate to admit it, but this actually does work. I don't know why I wanted it to not work. I spent $10 on it. I didn't want it to be junk, but I guess I just thought that like sewing machines are so intense and not necessarily sophisticated, but there's like a lot to it. They're so big. And I was like, how can this little gizmo the size of a TV remote actually work? Like, how could this possibly actually sew? But it did. It does create a chain stitch, which is different from a regular, just standard straight stitch on like a domestic machine, for example. And the most surprising part about this thing for me is that it actually kind of does include most of the features of a sewing machine. I mean, it only has 1 thread. It has a bobbin, and that's it. Whereas a regular sewing machine has a bobbin on the bottom and then a full spool up top. So that is probably the most different part about it. But otherwise, like, it has a little hand wheel that actually does lower and raise the needle. It has a little thing that holds the thread on, and then it goes through here, this thread guide, and then it goes into miniature tension discs. This is a facet of a regular sewing machine. This is just a tiny version. And then it also has basically a presser foot. See how, oh god, oh my, I don't want to sew while I demonstrate. Okay, there's no on and off button, so it's kind of wild. If this was just like sitting in your purse and something hit the button, it literally would start sewing. So that is a little bit weird. So this is actually like a presser foot, essentially. You just manually lift it with your fingers, which is a little bit awkward. On a regular machine, you would turn the hand wheel till the needle was up. Then you would lift the presser foot and you'd pull the fabric out, which, oh, see, this is quite awkward actually. But yeah, so I'll do this. I'll pull it out like that. The only thing that this does not have is a way to backstitch, which is basically just sewing backwards as a means to knot up your thread and not have it unravel. So what they do, actually, they thought about it. In this package, they originally included a needle threader. The idea is you stick the needle threader through, you put the tail in, and then you pull it back through, and you basically knot it manually as opposed to backstitching. I gotta give them kudos for that, for thinking about it and including what you need to be able to do it. So this is just a basic cotton. Here's how you're supposed to hold it. Then you're supposed to like lift this and stick it under. It's kind of hard. The needle doesn't lift that high, to be honest with you. Okay, like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's in. You're supposed to hold the fabric here in your left hand and then press. Oh my gosh. This is nuts. I can't believe it works. So yeah, it did genuinely just sew that. Here's the back. Huh. So let's do like a sort of rapid fire round now. I'm going to just put in a bunch of fabrics and see if they work. Not so much. Oh my. Okay, I'm gonna give it a fail on the jersey knit. In all fairness, you wouldn't typically use even a regular domestic machine for a jersey knit. You'd use a serger, so. That was actually the best one yet. That's incredible. It snapped once at the back or missed a loop at the back, but. Okay, now let's say I wanna turn this. Let's say I wanna go curved. Oh my, okay. All right, well, you know what? I think I owe Mr. Cam an apology because I really thought this wasn't gonna work, and clearly it does. Pretty thick wool too. I use this to make Evan's custom jacket for his music video. Okay. Ooh, the back does not look great. Smells pretty weird too. It's not working that great. Let's maybe try 2 layers because sometimes thicker is actually better. It's working all right. Okay. Oh, mine does it ever unravel if you don't knot it. Holy smokes, look at this. Ooh-wee. So I guess if you make a mistake, it's easy to get out, but you really have to knot this for this to work. That means you have to carry not just this, but the needle threader to be able to knot it in sort of that situation where you're at work and your skirt hem falls down and you just pull it out of your desk and you sew it really fast. This worked on the wool, but it didn't really work that well. In case, you know, your faux fur skirt unhems itself while you're wearing it, God forbid. Yeah, that's gonna be, well, technically a pass on the faux fur, but not great. This one is so tricky to sew in like the best of circumstances. Don't have high hopes for this one. Oh God. Oh my, okay, yeah. That's a fail on the mesh as well. This, I could actually see there being a reason to have to sew. This is chiffon. And now you might be wearing a chiffon skirt or a dress, and I think that that's a material where it's likely that your hem actually would come out. So I could see there actually being a reason for you needing to sew this type of fabric on the fly. Yeah, I call it a pass. I call it a pass on the chiffon. So I would say that you could use this for cottons, like a light to medium weight cotton, and you could use it for chiffon. You could probably also use it for a light denim, but not too many layers of denim. So the final test for this bad boy is actually gonna be me recreating a scenario from the infomercial.
Have you ever been like this lady in this ad? You reach into your pocket to answer a call at work when you realize your pocket has a hole in it. What is a busy woman behind a computer at work to do? Well, look no further than the Stitchmate by Remington. This minuscule sewing contraption can fix anything, anywhere, anytime. Don't let a holy pocket bag get you down. Be prepared for fashion emergencies with the Stitchmate. It's a Remington.
So my final thoughts on the Remington Stitchmate is that it technically does do exactly what it says it will do. It does work, maybe not on every single type of fabric, but I could see some scenarios where this might be useful. I don't know that it's any more practical or any more helpful than just carrying around like a spool of thread and some hand sewing needles and little snips, because that is lighter, takes up less space, and it won't accidentally turn on in your purse. But all in all, for $10 at the thrift store, I probably will keep it. It's just such like a fun little wacky sewing gizmo. As I mentioned before, this is gonna be the last sewing-ish video that I'm gonna be able to make for quite a while. If you're interested in just following along with my life, my adventures while I'm traveling, then continue to follow this channel. As well, if you've ever wanted to purchase anything off of my online store, now is the time to do it, because 6 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks after this video comes out, I'm gonna actually take down the whole entire store because I won't be able to ship anything from Costa Rica. You can find the link to that in the description below, as well as my Patreon and all of my social media links. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys in a while.